So here we are at the 95 Del Sol again. It's a nice little coupe. It runs okay. I mean, it's a little weak on power compared to what I'm used to. If I remember correctly, I think this engine is the D16Z6. Pumps out about 154 horsepower. Don't quote me on that, but anyways, what I'm doing today is I noticed quite a few things were loose on this engine. The previous owner said that he rebuilt, or him or somebody else rebuilt the head on here, the upper half of it, with a new head gasket and all the way up. But there were quite a few things that weren't torqued down to spec. For instance, these bolts here, they were so loose, actually two of them ended up coming loose on the highway. One of them was about to fall off again, and I got those torqued back down. I still gotta get two more for that and then torque them down properly, but what I just got done doing was torquing down the head bolts again, making sure those were all where they should be, and I think those were okay. They may have been a little on the looser end, but I think what happened is somebody put this car back together without using a torque wrench and just kind of guessed. And then there's this RTV sealant all over it, which isn't really necessary if you have a good gasket. So I think that's where part of the leak is coming from, is this sealant is actually doing the opposite of its job and preventing the gasket from sealing. So I got to get the rest of that crap out of there, because the gasket on the valve cover, it actually looks to be in good shape. It's just a little dirty. It's got some grime around the edges, but the gasket looks good. I mean, these seals look good. These go around the spark plug cylinder, where the spark plug goes into. That seals off that, and everything on here it's dirty, but it looks okay. So I don't know why this RTV was deemed necessary, but I'm gonna tune it up and then check the timing again. The plugs were another thing that were loose on it. I went ahead to pull one, and it was just barely hanging in there. So I pulled all four of them, and all four were loose. Three of them were gapped incorrectly. One was close. But there's just a lot of stuff on this engine that did not get put back together properly, so I'm probably gonna have to go through it top to bottom and figure it out. As you can see, there's all this oil leaking from around somewhere. I gotta figure out exactly where that's from, but I'll figure it out. Hopefully when I torque down the head bolts again, it torqued them down tight enough to stop that leak down there, because I think they were a little loose, but I don't know. I'll find out. Put this car back together and put the new plugs and stuff in it, and hopefully that makes a difference.